Welcome to part 4 of our 7-part video series on improving your Google Place page. In this segment, we'll give you step-by-step instructions and tips on how to fill out your Google Place page to the max. Everything from filling in your contact information to listing the brands you offer. Let's get started. You'll notice on your Google Places dashboard that Google has an area that actually lets you know how complete your business information is and what's lacking. They do this for a reason. Let me explain and give you some background. Google has a tendency to put users first. They reward business owners time and time again when you guys take things to the max and provide as much helpful information to viewers as possible. And guys, just so you know, Google is that way about everything. If your entire internet marketing strategy, not just Google Places, but your entire web presence, focuses on providing a rich user experience, Google will reward you. So let's go over a few areas you'll need to make sure you're covered on, so you stand a chance of reaping the most benefit. The first thing you want to do is log into your Google Places account. Obviously, if your place page is verified and active, editing will be a breeze. From your dashboard, go to Edit. Take a look at the first section you can edit, your basic information. Pay attention to how the address, phone number, business name, and website address is written. Is everything accurate? Does this information match other business listings you have out there on the web? The reason I say this is because it's possible that Google is going to check elsewhere on the web for other mentions of your address, so it's important to keep everything consistent. Make sure everything matches up and use the same kind of information you would use if it were stamped on an envelope. Use the description field to your advantage. Don't load it up with a bunch of keywords that don't make sense. And don't load it up with product names. Write exactly what you would say about your business if you were addressing 1 million people on national TV. Try to reach the 200-character maximum. Another thing to consider is the email address you want to use in your place page. It would be a good idea to make sure the email address you give matches with your website. So for example, if your website is soandsosmiles.com, use something like info@soandsosmiles.com. Okay, so let's move on to your categories. You would be amazed how many business listings only have 1 or 2 categories. Try to pick 5 that match with your practice. It will increase your likelihood of showing up for the services you actually offer. You have quite a few options to choose from. Now, just to let you know, the way Google has it set up is that you would simply type what you wanted inside the category box, and Google makes suggestions based on what you typed. All your choices are not going to be right there in front of you, and they do this to keep people from choosing categories that don't really relate to them. There are websites out there that have all the categories listed out, so if you were to Google something like Google local business categories, you would likely find a website or two that has the complete list. So pay attention to what categories you choose and keep it as accurate as possible for best results. In the next section, service areas and location settings, you can identify whether or not you usually work in your own office or you visit customers. This is a new feature Google added to place pages that works really well for businesses like pest control services, electricians, and plumbers. If you were to actually choose yes, Google will allow you to specify your service area and gear your listing toward that of a business that sends workers out to meet with customers. For a practice, your best bet, of course, is to check off no, since you actually have an office location. In the hours of operation section, always include your full business hours. It's all pretty self-explanatory. Just make sure everything is completely accurate before moving on. In payment options, simply click off everything you offer. Businesses often make the mistake of leaving this blank. Don't do that. Go for the gold and fill it in. Photos. This is the ideal place for a picture of the front of your office. My advice is to grab a camera and take lots of pictures. Pick the best ones for your place page. Take pictures of you and your staff, cool stuff around your office, anything that would interest your online audience. I would definitely upload the maximum you can, which is 10. Remember, the idea is to take it all the way, so go the extra mile with your place page for best results. Stay away from uploading pictures of things that don't really represent your practice. For example, you offer Invisalign, which is great, but does an Invisalign logo represent your office? No. Keep them focused on your practice and represent your practice. Video. Yes, you can have video with your place page. And why wouldn't Google allow this? They own YouTube. If your practice is not on YouTube, you're missing out. YouTube, according to Google, is the second largest search engine. So if you don't have an account, go to youtube.com and sign up. Now, obviously, if you're going to have a YouTube account, you need to post videos to your account. My advice is to go out and get or borrow a little digital camera or flip camera and shoot 3 to 7 minute videos. And the great thing about YouTube is that the most successful videos don't really cost anything to produce. They're not those professionally done commercial type videos with one guy talking and his phone number keyed in at the bottom of the screen. The best videos are the short and sweet videos that look effortless. Upload those to YouTube. Once you upload, grab the link to each video and enter them into your video section in Google Places. Add as many videos as Google will allow. Okay, so additional details. This is where you can really get into the nitty-gritty. So for example, you've got a lot of brand names that you held off on listing in your description field. The additional details section is where you would list them. And it's set up to where you can really customize your lists. So for example, if you want to list the brands you offered, you could do brands offered. And then you would list out, Invisalign, Damon, SureSmile, Zoom Whitening, etc. So you have the title of the list on the left, and then you've got the actual list section on the right. And you can add as many lists as you want to this area.